Welcome to the new 2450 show here in Coffs Harbour, Australia, home of the new 2450 podcast show. Today we got J.L. Whitton. J.L. Whitton. He's a local artist in Coffs Harbour. Okay, we're going to start this first question off. Tell them who you are.
Okay, well, J.L. Whitton is my creative stage name, I guess you'd like to call it. It's just an amalgamation of my first name and middle name, but I just thought it sounded a lot cooler on a book or a poster than my actual name, so I ran with that.
Okay.
So I've always enjoyed all things creative. I've always had a passion for it, but it's only been in the last few years that I've started pursuing it in a professional sense and in a business type sense. So got a couple of books under my belt as well as the artistic side. Haven't developed the music very much, but yeah, just I've always enjoyed all things creative, and now that actually sort of turning it into a viable career.
So what gave you that first spark that you want to even do something like this, get into art?
I guess like a lot of people, started sort of early in life. You know, I started drawing and doing art, and then, you know, as you progressively get older, I think the idea of that being a viable career is some people just may not see it like that, but that was something I always wanted to do, and a lot of my background was in hospitality, so that taught me a lot of skills I guess I can apply to this industry as well. But yeah, it started when I was young, and I guess it was just one of those things that never necessarily left me. At school, I was always more into the creative pursuits than the more analytical ones, like mathematics and things. So I always resonated more with doing art and writing and things like that. Even though I didn't particularly enjoy English at school, I didn't see that becoming part of my career, to be honest.
Serious?
No, I did good at English at school, but
But you say you didn't see it saying I'm gonna make a living as an author.
No, I thought once I'd finished writing essays, I was like, that's it, I'll never have to write another one again, you know. But no, now I've gotten a lot of practice writing essays and media releases, content for newspaper articles, social media, of course. I've written eulogies, unfortunately, for family members.
So what's the vision behind the J.L. Whitton Creative, and how has it evolved over time?
I guess just the vision behind it is just establishing some kind of artistic legacy or some type of recognizable brand where somebody can look at it and say that's J.L. Whitton, whether it be a painting or, I guess if my name's written on the front, that's pretty self-explanatory. But it was about creating something too that'll also be here after I'm gone. The idea of people enjoying my things, still consuming my things, and that really excites me, because one of the things that I wanted to do was to make people feel different emotions, whether that be whichever that on the spectrum that falls on. I just wanted to, with the things I create, sort of provide a bit of escapism for people in a way, but also write things that are pertinent to the real world and real social issues and things. So striking that balance of that escapism from writing, but also
How do you see it? What's the challenge you face when turning that passion you have, that creative passion, into a business?
Okay, yeah,
What's
that's
the challenges? Because right now you say you want to get your name out there, so when they see it or when they see some of your artwork, it has your name on it. What's the challenges of getting that out there and into the business?
well, we're living in a pretty fastly evolving technological landscape. So that's one of the challenges of being seen and doing that consistent posting and presence so that people can know you're there. So that's one of the challenges that I found of just having that discipline and that structure of posting it. And another challenge that I've found is some of the other aspects of the business which people may not see, like when you're doing your account keeping and doing all that stuff that while it's not necessarily super fun, it's also a necessary part of the whole business journey.
Yeah, that goes to the next question: is how do you balance artistic freedom with practical, realistic of running a business?
The other thing I found, like again, I may not be the best person to give advice on that because I sometimes.
Well, you're writing a book.
I done the hard part of that, but sometimes I do struggle to motivate myself to doing not the writing and that, but the things like the account keeping and just some of those things that might seem boring. So I've had to try and adhere where possible to either like a schedule or having some type of goal in mind, whether you don't have to achieve everything in one day, but I would rather achieve a few things than constantly ruminate on what I did or didn't do, if you know what I mean. So while I mightn't be the most fastidious or consistent person with that, because that's the thing I'm still learning about my business journey, but is doing those things that may not seem as glamorous, but that are important to the business, that are unpaid, and that people don't see. But it's
needed.
it's needed.
It's needed,
Yeah.
and it's something you must do.
Yeah.
And that right there leads to your book, the Pentium. What theme were important for you to explore?
Well, I just noticed.
Can you introduce them to the book?
Of course, yeah. This is the Pendulum, J.L. Whitton. I had a large hand in designing the cover. I didn't design it myself, but I did advise the graphic designer of what I wanted, and I was very happy with the end product. I just wanted to address some of the issues that I was seeing both in Australia and abroad. There's also some historical sort of, I won't say, there's historical parallels in it where everything that happens in this book, unfortunately, has happened somewhere in the real world at some time. And I guess
fictional or non-fictional?
It's fiction, yeah. And without acknowledging that, I think we're almost in a cycle of repeating some of them. So another theme that was very important to me was sort of the idea of a redemption or redemptive type arc for some of the characters, because while I don't condone, endorse, or encourage some of their behaviours or opinions in the book, they've all come from very adverse circumstances and were still interested in improving the world. So whether that be a misguided approach to that, I just wanted to show that despite the adversity that they'd been through, and that some of their behaviour is a little bit maybe off-putting some of the readers, that they were still trying to be good people, or they were trying to help, and make the world a bit of a better place.
And so the book is in all stores right now?
Yeah.
How can the people get the book?
Well, you can go onto my website, jlwhittoncreative.myshopify.com, or you can search it on your favourite search engine. It's available in some of the bookstores around our local area, and I'm hoping to expand it out in the future. Yeah, but it is available online and from Amazon and the like.
Okay, and you do poetry also.
That's true.
So poetry can be deeply personal. How do you decide what ideas or emotion makes it into your poetry collections?
Okay. It
And
can be a
can you
very.
introduce that book? What you're showing?
This is called. This is my newest book called "Don't Censor the Hippos."
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of humorous, funny, absurdist little collection of poems. The reason why is to answer your question. It can be difficult to decide what to put into the poetry, but recently I've done almost a complete 180 on my poetry writing, where I was just noticing that a lot of the poetry events I was going to and the poetry I was hearing was just so serious, and which doesn't imply negative, but it was just, and I just wanted to write some things that were just a little bit more lighthearted, just a little bit more comedic,
Mm-hmm.
and just weren't so so that every poem was essentially the subtext of it was society's in the toilet and we're all screwed sort of thing. So that's why if you read this one, I put on the blurb, are you tired of poetry being too serious, having too many morals or themes that are lofty and intellectual? And then this is the book for you. So yeah, I tried to readapt my strategy and my approach towards writing poetry, where I just
So what?
wanted to.
So what's? I'm sorry to cut you off, but what does your writing process look like from idea to finished piece?
Writing process. What's that?
Sorry.
I oh geez. I have been thinking a bit about that. I'm a pretty sort of, like with the pendulum. I'm a pretty sort of fastidious note writer. I like to notate down, even if it goes for notepads, pages and pages. Um, I was thinking about my writing approach, because there's what they call pantsers, who are
Mm-hmm.
sort of take the book and then may not have a defined plan, and then what feels right, they'll just take the book in a certain way. But then there's also plotters,
Mm-hmm.
who, so I think I fall somewhere between those two. But with my next books that I brought out, again, I've taken lots of notes, but the plan is to follow those notes and that structure a bit more rigidly.
And,
Yeah.
and your visual art appears across your books and products. How do your different creative skills connect?
Um. Well, when I see an opportunity for them to connect, considering that I can do a lot of this, like I designed this cover myself, and the back cover as well. So with this book, I found this really good site where you can basically design it from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So I've formatted it myself,
Mm-hmm.
wrote the poetry, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
edited it, and then did the cover art. So it's just, I think when I find a way that the skills can connect like that, me personally, I just find very good satisfaction from being able to be involved in almost every step of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, nothing good is created like solely alone. Like I still had people at the who delivered the book and
And you
who.
also have greeting cards, stickers,
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
in your creative ecosystem.
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to try and expand my range
Mm-hmm.
and offer different things, because I know not everyone can afford an art original.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've been using local businesses
Mm-hmm.
where possible, and myself, the things I can't make, I outsource to local businesses
Mm-hmm.
and things. And I just wanted to have a nice, diverse range of products that would appeal to a wide section of the market.
Okay. How do you decide which creative items are worth turning into products?
That's a toughie, because designs and artworks that I thought were going to do really well and resonate with people and that haven't been so popular. So I'm sort of in the process of getting feedback and things from not just paying customers, but also people who come by my shop, whether it be at the markets or various other public engagements.
So you have a shop?
Yeah,
Tell the people where you are.
well, you can find me down in the Coffs Harbour jetty area most Saturdays and Sundays, either at the break wall
Okay.
or on the actual jetty itself. I was doing the actual harbour markets there, but just wasn't really working for me in the sense of the market fees to what I was making.
Yeah,
So
starving artist.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
You got
just-
to watch your pennies.
yeah, yeah. So what I do now is a lot more sort of listen to the feedback from customers, because I have certain designs that have resonated with children and more elderly people as well. So I think if that's resonating with that wide sort of age brackets of people, then that's the ones that I
You
should
go
be.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Put all your energy into that.
Mm.
Okay, you're in Coffs Harbour now. How is being based in Coffs Harbour influence your creative work, being in such a rural town?
Yeah, well, I'm sure like you've probably experienced being in Coffs, you just have to look at our metropolitan counterparts to see that not just in the art and production industry, but they get a lot more opportunity and funding and infrastructure, living in the cities. And so what I have been passionate about recently is promoting the regions and strengthening that creative culture and scene in the regions. I've been
Have you been approached by people that want like grants,
Um,
not for profit, that want to work with you?
Yeah, I've been doing a bit of work with Regional Arts New South Wales, and they're basically trying to do the same thing of just promoting creativity and arts in the region. And that's something that has developed for me in the past few years. When I first started the business, or when I was a little bit younger, like, I'll be honest, I didn't really give a shit about the community or that. But now I realise that the importance of having that strong creative community, especially in these regional areas, and and just trying to promote.
Get that backing, huh?
Yeah, get that backing. Yeah.
What role does the community play?
I think it plays a bigger part than I sort of first realised. I've gotten a lot of strong relationships and friendships with the local galleries and things, and from there I've noticed that networking, especially in these small regional towns, is usually the genesis for a lot of opportunity and a lot of good creative projects to follow. So when foster that strong sense of community, it helps not just me benefit. I'm not just doing this for my career or that. I want to help, the next generation of people have those opportunities too, and they don't have to move to a city, and they don't have to go to a metropolitan university.
Move away from the family.
Yeah, and then they can stay, and then this helps. This helps the economy as well. This isn't just
So anybody young listening to you right now, what advice would you give them for creative or business that you wish you knew earlier? What's some of the humps that they must look out for since you already been there? Give them some advice right now.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Look, starting your own business can be one of the most rewarding things that you can probably ever do. But that being said, it can be one of the most stressful, and at times you go through those peaks and troughs of achievement, and then sort of nosedive
So how do
into
you
that.
deal with those creative blocks or those periods of self-doubt? How did you deal with it?
Not always well.
But you're still here, though.
Yeah, still here.
Still
Yeah,
going,
still here.
still going.
So you've just got to You've just got to not let it derail you. I think if you need to take a bit of time for yourself, or meditate, or consult with a mentor or peer. Sometimes it's just you're not going to always feel like doing painting, or you're not going to always feel like writing. Sometimes you have to, I won't say force yourself, but sometimes you're going to have to do it in those moments where you won't feel like it. And things like burnout and that are real prospects too. So you've got to balance that time well. You can't try and take on the world all at once, and it's a long game as well. Sometimes it can seem frustrating, and you may be saying to yourself, like, I'm on the road to nowhere here. My career's going nowhere. What am I doing? Like, I've asked all of these questions, and sometimes going to sleep at night can be a little difficult because you've got like this furore in your mind.
Thousand things at once. Huh?
Yeah. So I think it's about it's just about time management, bit of discipline and structure, like I was saying earlier. Again, I haven't always stuck to that myself, so I don't want to sound like a hypocrite in that regard, but these things are what can help you with the, like, especially with diaries and that type of organisation. Organisation's important. Yeah, discipline.
Discipline and consistency.
Yeah. They're really important. Yeah.
So tell me this: what's next for your creatively? Books, art, project, collaboration, or new directions? I guess being here and doing a podcast, you can tick that off. So what do you want? What you see next?
I'd really like to get my next book out, which is called The Freedom Pillar. It's a bit of a deep dive into, like, blurring the line between friendly commune and sort of fanatical cult. But unfortunately, at the moment, I'm in a bit of a standstill with that, where all the money I'm making from these books and that I'm reinvesting back into my business. So trying to save for that.
So how do you personally define success as a creative professional?
Okay. Well, success.
What do you define as success? And when you say I've made it, what is made it to you?
When you have a solid foundation of people and things that know who you are, who are interested for what you put out, who are interested in following your journey. Success to me isn't always strictly a sort of monetary accolade, award-based thing. While those are great incentives and great recognition for what you're doing, I think that the success as well is that knowing that people are resonating with what you're creating and are enjoying what you're creating and are following you on that journey. So even like after I'm gone, like, success to me would be if people were still reading my books and going, oh wow, that moved me, or that, even if it didn't.
Like that book that found you in the library, was like, people said, you don't find books, books find you.
Yeah. So that to me is a good definition of success. Yeah. And just if you're able to don't have to carve your own niche and do something that nobody's ever done before, but if you can just bring in that consistent sort of income and that, so you can focus on your dreams. Like, you don't have to necessarily be mega wealthy or have some huge celebrity, but I think if you can find that good balance.
You want that balance where you say, okay, it's paying the bills, and I am getting it out to the world. So it works out in the balance. That's the balance, it seems like. You want to read out one of the books, you want to give a little spiel or read a verse or something? You want to read the Coast Harbor, some of your material? Because most artists come in, they read something out of their books.
I think a poem might be a little more succinct. Yeah, I think I'll just read a. This is called A Forgotten Poem. It's a poem about having a really good idea for a poem, but forgetting it and writing about that instead. But it didn't happen to me, though. I mean, come on, what gave you that idea? I had the greatest idea for the best no contest poem you would ever hear. But it's forgotten. Why? The reason's unclear. But you have to imagine, it had the greatest inspiration. The details aren't important. I don't know how. But guess what? This is the poem now. And they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But honestly, I'd rather have what I wrote originally. Erased. Gone without a trace. So now I have to replace the great idea in my head with whatever this is instead. And in lieu of an elegant line, this poem will do just fine. But compared to this, it was far superior. But that means nothing if you can't remember. Forget rhyme, forget metaphor, forget alliteration. I'm forced to recite this insipid imitation. It would have been the best. No equal, no dispute. Now I'm limping to the barn with this cheap substitute. I don't know how I could conceive something so good. If I could remember it, don't you think I would? There wouldn't be so much frustration if I could remember the original inspiration. But I'm not a writer. I'm a butcher, hanging the carcass of the language on hooks with finesse, while hacking off large chunks under duress, finely slicing, preparing and wrapping them in little environmentally friendly packaging and sending them out for the mass consuming. Thank you. That's a forgotten poem.
You're what I call a genius.
Oh,
Don't take it as Jay saying this. No, I don't want you to get the big head though. But you have something that's called gift. You have a gift. And right now you're sharing it with the world. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. You want to read something else or we're going to wrap it up? It's all up to you. This is your show.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a poem called Professionalism, and it's sort of about that need to always look so polished and professional and never show any vulnerability or realism. So I wanted to write something clever here, but the HR department saw it and now I'm on notice. This endless quest for professionalism is causing a spasm in my thinking mechanism. Through the lens, the prism of corporate professionalism, imprisoned. It's like terrorism. These office meetings have got me dying of boredom. It's like state-sanctioned murder. No, I don't want to know my co-worker intimately or hear about the ins and outs of their last colonoscopy or their game of Monopoly. Another team-building exercise? I want to forget you guys exist, quite frankly. Working so passive-aggressively and rather expectedly. Right on time, 3:30. I'm buried under an avalanche of incompetency. And possibly, but surely and undoubtedly, it's another person's birthday. So wheel out the cake and fake your happiness till you choke on it. This crazy culture, normalised so recently, imposed so indecently. A tie, a blazer for uniformity, an outfit to hide our disgusting nudity. Were humans meant to be stagnating in an office building like a stale bottle of piss, just sitting and ass-kissing? A rock gathering moss just crushed the boss. He'll be missed dearly. Clearly, a tragedy. Now, can we go home early?
Okay, we got J.L. Whitton here at HCSC Studio podcast show, home of the new 2450. And we're out.
Yeah, that was good. I think the second half I thought was a bit better.
What I do is put this together for you. And like